I've told you to not be the cause of the death of your own dreams, right? I've told you to harness and protect the potential that you have inside of you. I've told you to take out your dreams and speak about them and speak them into existence and just basically birth your own dreams. Only you can birth your own dreams, right? That's what I've told you. But as I was thinking about everything that I've said, I've thought about the fact that most people get to let their dreams die because they're afraid, because they allow themselves to be the slaves of fear. So I've realized that that's the reason, that's one of the biggest reasons people allow their dreams to die, because they become the slaves of fear. They ask themselves, what if it doesn't work out? I'm afraid of what might happen if it doesn't work out. And some people are even afraid of what might happen if it does work out, and that's what we call the fear of success. You know, people face three types of fears actually in life. We face the fear of failure, the fear of success, and the fear of the unknown. So dreams in the world are dying because of these three types of fears. But the kind of fear that I would like you to instill within yourself, it's not the three types of fears that I just mentioned. It's this fear, the fear of what will happen. What will happen if you do not do it? What's gonna happen if you do not take action? What would happen if you decided to sit down and not do anything because you are afraid? What would happen if you decided that you're too scared of speaking about your dreams? What would happen if you decided that it's not worth it to go out there and tell the world what you want to do? I'm afraid of that. That's the fear that I have within myself, and that's the kind of fear that actually drives me to keep on going every single day, because I tell myself, Prince, if you had to stop making videos, if you had to stop studying, if you had to stop coming to school, going to class, speaking in class, what's gonna happen? And let me tell you something, the only guarantee that will happen if you let fear become your slave master, the only guarantee that I can give you is none of your dreams will ever come true. You will experience the failure, the same failure that you're afraid of experiencing when you do something. That's the one guarantee that I can give you that you're going to experience if you do not do anything, if you let yourself become the slave of fear. That's the thing. People think that if they don't do something they're scared of, they're not going to fail. If we think that if we don't do something we don't know, if we do not go into the unknown, we're not going to get hurt, we're not going to feel pain, we're not going to feel any regret. But at the end of the day, or later in life, we find out that because we didn't do anything in the beginning, we're going to face regret, we're going to face failure, we're going to face disappointments. But however, when you do something, regardless of not knowing the outcomes of it, there is a way of you succeeding. You can actually succeed at it. It's better for you to take risks than to sit down and not do anything. The biggest mistake in life, the biggest failure in life is not taking action. The biggest failure in life is becoming the slave of fear. If you let your mind trap you into thinking that what you're thinking about is something that's not realistic, something that cannot be done, that you're not the kind of person to achieve that you're not made of the right qualities, that you don't come from the right place, that you don't have the right kind of money, that you don't have the right kind of mind for anything that you're thinking about. If you let your mind victimize you into being scared every single time, you're not going to take the action. And if you don't take the action, nothing is ever going to happen. And if nothing happens, failure is a guarantee. The failure that you're afraid of is a guarantee. And this thing of being afraid of success, it's got to stop. People are afraid of what might happen if it works out. Like, what if I cannot handle it? If I were afraid of what might happen if my videos went viral, if I was afraid of it, I wouldn't be doing this. But I'm not, because I'm like, what happens if they do? What happens if they become viral? So why should I stop? Why should I stop posting these videos? Why should I be afraid of posting them? I'm not. Because I don't let myself be ruled by fear. I'm not the slave of fear. Fear is nothing but an illusion. Fear is what your mind creates to make you think that you have to be safe all the time. Fear is what your brain does so that you can stay in your comfort zone. The more you stay in your comfort zone, the more you will never ever get to experience life. The more you will keep on being afraid. When people come to you with new things, you will just say, no, that's not for me. No, I cannot do that. Why? Because you're afraid. And when your dreams get bigger, when your goals get bigger, you cut them short. Why? Because you're afraid. See, when we were little kids, We would dream about being astronauts. We would dream about being presidents. We would dream about being kings and queens of the world. But as we grow up, those dreams, they begin to diminish bit by bit, bit by bit. Why? Because we let fear get into our minds and tell us this world is evil, it's cruel, it's this. Yes, it is that way. But the world can only be evil to you if you let it. It can only be cruel to you if you let the fear get into your mind and tell you that nothing will ever happen because the world is this way, it's that way, it's that way. You will become the slave of fear, your own fears. Your own fears are... Let me tell you something. There is nothing more painful. I will repeat it once again. There is nothing more painful in the world than regretting 10 years from now that you didn't take an action on something and then someone else does it the exact same way that you wanted to do it, and they actually succeed at it. And then you see it happening, and then you be like, that could have been me. But you let fear put you into slavery. You let it victimize you. You let your mind victimize you into thinking that you are not capable of achieving it. Do not be a slave of fear. Just look at your fear, face it, and tell it that I'm going to do this. Because if I don't do it, if I don't take action, the only guarantee I'm going to get out of this is failure. The only guarantee I'm going to get out of this is regret. And a life of regret is a life that I would never want to live. I would rather die fighting for my dreams than live a life filled with regrets of not doing what I was supposed to do on this planet. I was brought here for a reason. And that reason is not to be afraid every single time an opportunity comes up. When I have to speak up, I speak up. When I have to question, I question. When I have to comment, I comment. Because I believe that I was given a mouth, a voice, a mind to use them. But how can I use them if I'm afraid? How can I do it if I'm afraid? How can I take a step forward if I'm afraid? How can I do anything if I'm afraid? Fear will paralyze you into not doing anything. And then you realize later in life that fear is nothing but an illusion of your own mind trying to keep you into your comfort zone. Fear is just an illusion. Do not be a slave of it. It does not exist. It only exists because you let it. Do not be a slave of fear.